Hello, happy Monday. Welcome. 90 Day the Melanated Way. I'm your host, Linda Antwi. I am feeling comfy, cozy, cash. How are you all doing? I can't believe that this month is almost over. Let's do a little bit of housekeeping before we jump right in. I definitely want to do my shout outs. So, shout out to Megan, Beth, Rebecca, Marianne, Raydella. We have a new Patreon subscriber. Shout out to Danielle. Welcome to the family. Linda, Lydia, Brianna, Crystal, Nicole, Amanda, Jaleesa, y'all my day ones. And congratulations, Jaleesa, Dr. Jaleesa, who matched with a hospital recently. So I'm super, super proud of Dr. Jaleesa. Shout out live chat. Hello, hello, hello. Also, too, guys, to make the show possible, I would love your support. We are streaming live on Facebook, on YouTube, on Patreon. And if you feel so led, please take a look at that banner, Linda is So Girly, and Cashapp with the $ first with Linda is So Girly. Your support allows the show to carry on. So I appreciate it. And for all of you that have already supported me, thank you so very much. I also just want to take a moment to just spread love, you guys. There's so much going on. I tried to stay away from the news this whole morning and just all of today, but I just want to send love. That's what I want to say. I want to send love to everybody, and let's just spread more love. There's so much going on in this pandemic, and I just really feel people are doing the most. Anyhow, let's jump in to the show. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Cooch. Hey, Lydia. Crystal. Hey, fam. Hey, Amanda. So, you guys, overall thoughts was this episode was bananas. It was bananas. There was so much going on. I was here for it, you guys. I was here for all the drama and all the nonsense. Hey, Black Shelly. Hey, girl. Hey. So, first and foremost, we started off with Yara and Jovi. And so it's going to bring me to my very first question for you guys. Do you think Jovi will ever put Yara and their baby first before his friends and partying? Do you think Jovi will ever put Yara and their baby first? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the live chat. Hey, Radella. Hey, girl. Hey. So they're on their way to Vegas, and she's just not feeling it. And I agree with her. Like, he really does put his friends first. And so she's just wondering and worried that as she has this baby, if she's ever going to be a priority, and is the baby going to be a priority? And I think those are legit questions, you know? So they're in the car, and she's just basically ignoring him. And she feels tired because, you know, she's pregnant, the hormones, the whole 9 yards. And so she's like just not feeling it. But at the same time, she's excited to see more of the United States, right? So it's kind of like a balancing act. Like, do I look at the beautiful view on my way from Los Angeles to Vegas? Or do I just be mad and do I sleep? Like, what do I do? Lydia says, I think Jovi wants to, but is having a hard time balancing both friends and married life. And Michelle says, no, he won't change. And Crystal says, well, Jovi needs to be hanging with the friend who didn't go into the strip club more. Yeah, Klein, his married friend Klein looks like he would probably be a good influence. Hey, Hamila. Hey, girl. Hey. Vanessa says, maybe when the baby arrives, his family seems important to him. And Crystal says, I see 100% why she wanted it. To be just them at the wedding. This Vegas trip turned into a friend turn-up trip. Facts. Those are all facts. So they're on their way there, and we realize that Jovi is not prepared whatsoever, which is another issue, right? So he doesn't have a ring. He doesn't have a suit. He doesn't even have the marriage license. And he's expecting to do all of that in the 2 days. But mind you, as soon as they land, they want to meet at the bar and have some drinks and see Vegas. I get that. But I also think, too, that if you're going to have a Vegas wedding and it's going to be last minute, go ahead and plan it. Like, you knew you guys were going to Vegas, so why not get a suit? Like, I don't understand why you wouldn't do all of that, but you have time to go party. I don't know. That's just me, because it's more stress, right? Like, you're already in a pandemic. You already know that you have to leave for work. So why add finding a ring, finding a suit, and getting the license, and getting married? I mean, some people like that. And they said that he is a last minute person. He likes to fly by the seat of his pants. I couldn't have that stress. Like, I need to know that these things are at least in place. You know, things come and you can roll with the punches, but at least have like a overall plan. But whatever. So I felt bad for Yara, and I want to know what you guys thought. I felt bad for her because she's feeling lonely. So they stop off halfway to get a bite to eat and to take some photos and whatnot. And she calls her friend Lyra, and, you know, meanwhile, she's calling, feeling lonely, wondering if she's doing the right thing. And obviously she's pregnant, so that's heightening her emotions. And you look in the back and they call themselves the Cajun crew, and they're just taking pictures. And I was wondering how long it was going to take Jovi to realize that his fiance is just sitting alone. Just sitting alone. And that was not his first priority. His first priority was like, hey, let me kick it with my friends. And so I really felt for her. I felt like I get what she's saying this whole time. I get that she doesn't feel like she's a priority, and she left her entire life to be with the man that she loves. And she keeps saying that. She's like, I love him so much, and there were all of these red flags for her. And I got to agree, like, yes, Michelle, I think that his priorities are messed up. Flying into LA and then driving to LV is not the move for me. Yeah, I'm wondering why they did that. Maybe it was cheaper instead of just flying directly into Vegas, because that was extra time too, right? Because it's a couple hours from LA to Vegas. So I don't know. I just think it was not planned, and I think that he could have totally done it better. Krista said, people in LA don't even want to drive to Vegas. Those are true statements. It's like a 45-minute flight. Go ahead and handle that. And so in the car, Sarah, Jovi's friend, I thought was super effed up, you guys. I thought she was super effed up for asking about a prenup. I was like, who does that? Like, I get your friends, but why are you butting into the relationship now? Did Jovi ask her if she has, or excuse me, did Yara ask her if she has a prenup with her man? Like, it's none of your business whether they're having a prenup or not, and absolutely not appropriate on the way to her wedding to ask her that and make everyone feel uncomfortable. But, you know, Yara handled it. She brushed it off her shoulders and was just like, what does Jovi have? He has like this dirty old raggedy ass couch, and that's it. I was like, girl, exactly. Amanda said, I laughed though because they both hate Jovi. I just think it was rude. I just think it was super rude. So they finally get there, and the first plan was, let's change. Let's meet up at the bar. And she's like, I just want to go to the hotel room. I want to relax. I want to spend time with my future husband. And I felt for her because, you guys, this is supposed to be their wedding. So if it was just the two of them, then they would be doing romantic couple stuff, right? So maybe, yeah, they would go get a drink. Maybe they'd walk hand in hand. What they wouldn't do is have, like, Crystal said, the turn up. Like, I'm not about to go and party when I already know that I have all these things I still need to do. Plus, it's supposed to be a romantic moment. And you guys, you can't forget that Jovi's leaving in a few days, and he's going to be gone for a month. So there's not even going to be a real honeymoon. So, like, yeah, she wants to spend some alone time. I felt for her. And I get it's Vegas and it's the party town and you want to party. Hey, Laura. Laura says that Sarah was way out of line. And Crystal said, prenup? I haven't seen anything prenup worthy from Jovi. Hilarious. You guys in the live chat are hilarious. So yeah, so she's like, okay, I'm going to get ready. but I'm also going to have a conversation because she couldn't keep it in anymore. And so she talks about her feelings, and she says that you pay way more attention to your friends. You always make everything about you and your friends and partying, and she's not feeling good about getting married. And I was like, those are all valid points. And as soon as she said that, it almost was like a light bulb went off, right? Because he was like, I can't afford to lose my future wife and my baby. But at the same time, he still wants to party. So it's like, what do you do? How do you find that balancing act? So he says he's going to try to do better and be more attentive and put her in the first position. But he said that before, you guys. He said that, a few episodes ago, that I'm going to do better. He does better for a short period of time, and then he goes right back into like party mode. So I don't know. Will he change? Do you guys think he'll change? I don't know. Crystal says, also, now folks will find out or end up finding out that she's pregnant, so she won't be drinking, or get on her if she decides to sip a tiny glass of champagne, which is okay, by the way. So, yeah, I don't know. I wasn't feeling this. I wasn't feeling this whole vibe. I think that he does need to be more attentive. I think he does have to realize that he's about to be a dad and a husband, just like that. And yes, friends are important, and bonding is important and all of that, but you got to have your parties. You're going to be a dad, right? So maybe don't party as much. I mean, I don't know. You got to find that balance, whatever that is for them. So then at the end, he says, okay, we won't see my friends. We won't hang out. I'll plan something romantic. And I was like, okay, I like that, Jovi. I like that you decided and made a decision, and hopefully you'll stick to it. But we'll see. I think it's going to go right back into partying, you guys. I think that he's going to be too tempted in Vegas not to party. And so maybe find the balance. Maybe give Yara tonight, have like a nice late romantic meal. And then the next night, when you guys actually get married, after you get married, then party afterwards. And that can kind of be like your reception. It's about balance. It's about balance, you guys. That's it. That's all. Anyhow, moving on to the drama. Okay, if you guys watched last week's episode, you guys know that I had a theory about Mike and Natalie, and I'm sticking to it. I believe it 100%. And for those of you guys that are new and you don't want a spoiler, then cover your ears right now. But we already know that they get married. We know that they get married in April, and I'm convinced that by watching the end of this episode, you guys, I'm convinced my theory was correct. Okay. So instead of Mike chasing after her because she couldn't get into the hotel or the motel, she's back. So keep all that in your mind as we talk about this couple. So I have a question, and it's a doozy because it was issues with two of the couples. Okay, so, and I want to know, because I grew up believing something that I was told about engagement, and I want to know your thoughts. So, should Mike have asked for the ring back, and should Natalie have given it back? Who keeps the ring when the wedding is called off? So, should Mike have asked for the ring back, and should Natalie have given it back? Who keeps the ring when the wedding is called off? I want to know what you guys have grown up with, believing and thinking, what you think the proper etiquette is. I also want to throw in the fact that Andrew, and we'll get to that couple too, asked for the ring back as well. So what are your thoughts on that? Who keeps the ring? I'm just very, very curious. Amanda says, if you get dumped, then you keep the ring for sure. Lydia says, he dumped her, so she keeps the ring. Okay. Okay. So far, everyone's like, if you're the dumpy, you keep the ring. Radella said, well, I kept mine, and I dared him to ask for the ring back. Okay. It's their wedding day. They're not getting married. She wants to get the heck out of there because she can't even look at Mike. He buys a ticket to France for her, and she's going to figure out how she's going to get to Ukraine from France, whether she's swimming there, taking a boat, taking a train, taking a bus, whatever she's got to do. She wants to get back home. She didn't tell her family or friends. She definitely didn't tell her mom because, in her words, they would think that Michael was a monster. Now, she is all completely spun up. Like, I've just never seen her have this big of a panic attack, and she is like in full-on panic mode. And I get it. She's worried about traveling in the virus. And I sat there and thought about it, you guys. I was like, in April, so we were 2 months into this pandemic. There are stay-at-home orders everywhere. I wouldn't have wanted to travel either. I would have been spun up about leaving as well. And so I felt for her like that. Laura, did you hear that I'm at, I did, Laura. I'm going to be talking about all that and my theories about Uncle Beau on Wednesday on our News and Gossip show. Crystal says, Natalie worked hard to get that ring back the second time. She deserves that thing. Okay, so she's sharing a moment with Uncle Beau. Uncle Beau is putting all of her suitcases in Tamara's truck. And that moment was like shot to hell. I don't know if anyone else caught it. So she says, I'm sorry I was so rough on you. I'm sorry that I was scared of you. You actually are a really nice person. And he's like, I wish you the best and wants to stay in touch with her. And then she cuts it. She's like, but no, I will not keep in touch with you. Okay, that was a bit harsh. I don't know if you needed to verbally say that. I don't think that he should be like the brunt of your panic attack. That's how I took it. I was like, that was super rude of her. I get that she's in panic mode, but they were also sharing a moment. And I thought it was unnecessary. Halima says, if he breaks up with her, she should keep it. Amanda says, she just was afraid that she would fall in love with Uncle Beau next. That's funny. So she wrecked that moment as far as I'm concerned. And then Mike has to come out, right? So let's dig the knife in deeper. Mike has to come out and say that he's sorry. And she's like, I don't know what to say. Like, okay, you're sorry, but we're supposed to get married today. Who does that, really? Like, who does that? The day of, just be like, hey, not only do I not want to marry you, I don't want to marry you. I'll buy your ticket back. And I know it was her choice to get out of there, but who wouldn't want to get out of there? You think you're getting married today, and all of a sudden your fiance says, no, I'm not into it. I'm having second thoughts. The day of your wedding. Of course she's spun up. Who wouldn't be spun up? So he's coming out looking all pitiful and looking like he's sorry, but he doesn't regret it. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's sorry, but he's not regretting the fact that he was a total douche in this moment. And I just feel like you can't have it both ways. You can't be a total douche and then also want to pacify the situation so you don't look like a total douche. Like, that just doesn't even make any type of sense to me. Blacks, Shelley says, Natalie should keep the ring. She may need the funds to go home during this pandemic, ... Hazard pay. And Crystal said he had the audacity to ask for a hug. Yeah, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that part. So, comes out, says sorry. She doesn't want to talk to him. She wants nothing to do with him. She's crying. And she's like, go find yourself an American girl and be happy. And you guys, men, I'm going to give you a little hint here, okay? I'm going to give you a hint because I personally have done it many a time. When a woman says to you all the best, she's done with the conversation and she's done with you. And just FYI, she doesn't mean all the best. She just wants to get the F away from you, okay? So if you ever hear all the best, trust me, she's not meaning all the best in the best type of way. She goes on to say that she thinks he's a weak man. He's a weak person. Has weak actions. All of that. She's pissed, right? And I have to agree with her. Like, I have to agree. That was weak. It was weak of you to do. It was weak of you to just break it off like that. We don't know what the behind the scenes conversation was, but I'll tell you this. Can you imagine that you're going to sleep the night before? You probably have a little jiggy. You think everything's great. You think you're going to wake up in the morning and get married, and pow, your fiance says, yeah, I'm not feeling it. I don't want to do this. It's off. And you're in a country that, you've been in for only 3 months. It's crazy. Yes, she says, Rodella says, it really means when a woman says all the best, stick a fork in me, I'm done. And Amanda says, phew, imagine saying all those things and then still marrying that person. I can't wait to see how this plays out. Okay, so they leave, and the neighbor, poor neighbor, by the way, the neighbor, we don't see her all season. We see her at a birthday party, and then she gets roped into all this drama, and all of a sudden you're the chauffeur, you're the pseudo therapist, you're the accountant with the credit card, like all of it. It was nuts to me. I was like, ooh, you're a good neighbor. So they drive off, and she's freaking out because she's got 3 days till her visa expires, and she doesn't want to be illegal in the United States. And they start to drive off, and Mike is texting. And Mike is texting because although he booked a motel for them, he forgot to give the credit card. Okay, they go back to the house to get the credit card. Now, this is the part that, y'all, it was super friggin' disgusting to me. Okay, this is the part that I screamed at the TV, and I was like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Okay, they get back. He comes to the driver's side window. He gives the credit card to Tamara. Okay, then says that, hey, Natalie. Okay, hey, Natalie, do you have the ring? You don't know. I want to say something right now. What the F did you just say to me? I would say, what did you just say? Hey, Natalie, do you have the ring? So Natalie freaks out. She's like, you broke up with me. I deserve the ring. She's like, I'm not giving it. I'm keeping it. She's like, I want to remember how much pain and hurt I've been in and what this cost me. Okay. Then he says that he thinks that she's going to sell it. MF, it's none of your business what she does with that ring. You broke up with her. What she chooses to do with that ring, she can do. If she wants to pawn that ring, go ahead and pawn that ring, Natalie. If she wants to keep it and look at it and cry over it, go ahead and do that. But what you're not about to do is you're not about to ask for the ring back, and you're not about to ask me what I'm going to do with the ring or assume what I'm going to do with the ring, okay? But it gets worse, because what pissed me off was when he was like, can we just talk? I still care about you. Can you just, get out of the car and come talk to me and at least give me a hug? Y'all, do you see that manipulation? That wasn't about, oh, come talk to me. He wanted to talk to her, to encourage her to get the ring off of her finger. He thought that if he could get face-to-face while she's all traumatized, that he could swindle her out of the ring. I was like, this MF, oh, hell no. And I was so proud that she was like, no. She's like, Tamara, can we just go? Can we just go? Can we just go? Yeah. Step on it. Pedal to the metal. Because this dude right here, he's lost his bloody mind. He has lost his mind, okay? You are not about to break up with someone that you said that you loved, that you've been in a relationship with for a few years, that you were supposed to marry that day, that you traumatized and held the ring over her head. Now, yes, was Natalie effed up for throwing the ring back at him way back in Kiev? Absolutely, she was effed up about that, and she was wrong for that. But he decided to finally give it back to her after he tormented her this whole season. Now you're trying to get the ring back a third time, a second time? No, that's not happening. It's a wash, dude. You decided to take this huge step. So those are the consequences. Now, you guys, I'm going to give you my theory. So here's my theory. So they get to the hotel. They have to turn all the way back, right? That's what we saw, because they have to have the person who has the name on the credit card there at the hotel. Okay. Which I think is interesting, because like, who hasn't booked a hotel or whatever with a credit card? But whatever, that's a whole other story that we can talk about. However, they have to now go back to the house, right? Because they can't stay at the hotel. This is where my theory is going to come in. And this is what I'm predicting for next week. I'm predicting that because she's back at the house, they get back together, they mend their wounds, and they get married. Because it's April, and we know for facts, and I showed you the receipts last week, that they got married. So that's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. I thought that he was going to run after her, but she didn't end up going anywhere. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think, because that's what I'm thinking is going to happen next week. It makes complete sense, because there's no logical way for them to have gotten married in April if she ends up going to Ukraine. There's no way. So I think they make up next episode. Crystal said if he prepaid it, they could use any card for incidentals. That didn't sound right to me. I mean, yeah, and doesn't Natalie have a credit card? And I guess like she shouldn't pay for it because he's the one that broke it off. So go ahead and handle all the incidentals and handle the hotel and all of it, because you're the one that messed up and you're the one that broke it off. So yeah, I get that. But on the other hand, I feel like if she really wanted to just so much get out of there, you know, again, call it a wash, right? I don't know, you guys. What do you think? Like, she seemed like she wanted to really get out of there real quick, and she had an 11:45 a.m. flight in Seattle, you guys. So I don't know if you know the Pacific Northwest, but they're not close. So I don't know. I don't think she goes. I don't think she gets on the plane. I think they make up next week and go through the wedding. Definitely let me know what you guys think in the comments. Moving on to Brandon and Julia. We'll start with my Brandon and Julia question. Do you think Brandon really wants to get married? Because to me, he seems 100% uninterested. He's basically has said that verbally. And Julia's been upset that Brandon doesn't know anything about the wedding. He hasn't planned anything of the wedding. If it wasn't for Betty and Ron, they're doing the planning. They took them to the church. They are giving them a timeline, you know, all of it. He just seems so uninterested. And then when he said, quote, that he doesn't care about the female fantasy of a wedding day, I wanted to punch him in his face. Okay? Because that stereotype right there, okay, yes, women do dream about their wedding, but the female fantasy, it just, the way it came out, me looking at his face, I was like, oh, I don't like that at all. I don't like that, how that came out of your mouth and what you were implying about that. Should women and men, should people be excited to get married? Absolutely. And there should not be nothing wrong with that. Let's go to the comments. Crystal says, he's uninterested like a child would be, SMH. And Laura says, nope, he doesn't really want to get married. And, oh, Linda said, why couldn't she stay at her friend's house? You mean the neighbor, Tamara? Is that who you guys are asking about for Natalie? Isn't Tamara doing enough? She's like, I'm not bringing this drama into my house. I'm not bringing the crazy over to my place. My place is my peace and zen. Amanda says, Brandon is such a dork. I just keep coming back to that word. So they're fighting. They're fighting about the wedding. And Brandon kind of walks out, and we see him talking to Ron and Betty as Betty is giving Ron a haircut. And they just want to know if he's happy, if he's excited about his wedding. And he's kind of like, like that's how I felt. I know he was saying real words, but that's how I felt. I felt like he was acting like a spoiled brat. Like he doesn't have a choice to get married. You're a grown ass man. And I say this on the show every week almost. You're 27, which is closer to 30 than it is to 20. So like do grown up things. Make grown up choices. How about that? I don't know, guys. So Ron wants to know what the game plan is. Like, have you discussed it? And he's like, yeah, we've discussed it a little bit. A little bit. What are you waiting on? You know what he's waiting on, you guys? He's waiting on his parents to plan his wedding for him. That's what he's waiting on. Because I'm convinced that Brandon is just like, he's been too coddled and he doesn't want to make any decisions. He doesn't want to be a grown-up. He wants to be taken care of. That's it. And he wants his parents to take care of him, and he wants Julia to take care of him, and he wants to just sit back and cruise. Literally, that's exactly what I feel. So, he's like, I don't know. Do I get married or do I say bye forever? Because I love her. So I'm not ready to say goodbye to her forever. But I'm also not ready to plan a wedding. So he goes ahead and says, you have 90 days to figure it out if you want to marry someone. And this is the part that is confusing to me, you guys. Okay. I'm going to break it down a little bit. Okay. Because I want to know what you guys think. Okay. Let's use Brandon and Julia as an example, but I mean this for all of them. Rebecca and Ziad, also Natalie and Mike. You guys have been together for a few years. And yes, it's been long distance, but you've both visited, okay, each other in each other's countries. And so it's not brand new. Then you decide that you're going to get married. So someone proposes, right? So it's not like these 90 days are surprising to anyone. It's just the way it works. So if you propose to someone, does that not mean that you want to marry them in the near future? I know there are a lot of people that get engaged and they have like 2-year, 5-year, 10-year engagements. But most people, if you get engaged, you intend to get married shortly thereafter, right? So my confusion comes because I've heard Rebecca say this, Mike say it, now Brandon. Why are you using the 90 days to figure out if you want to marry someone? What are you talking about? It proposed. Does a proposal mean, hey, I want to marry you? Because they're making it seem like, hey, I want to marry you, but then let's spend 90 days figuring out if we want to marry each other. It's confusing. Yeah, Crystal, you're in my head. I'm so confused by everyone in the season. The 90 days is not to figure it out, right? It's not, you guys. Unless y'all know something that I don't know. But again, if someone says, hey, will you marry me? And you say, yes, I would love to. That means that you guys want to marry each other. What are you figuring out in these 90 days? Like, it's dumb. And I think that it's also insulting our intelligence. Like, y'all should have figured that out before. And I keep thinking of Rebecca refreshing her iPad and finding out that Ziad was approved at that. And she was so excited. So what changed? He's now here. Y'all waited 2 years. Hello. Krista said, or you can be like Stephanie and have a fiance that has not proposed to you. Yes, but he can be your fiance. And we talked about that too. Like your fiance who has not even proposed to you, but he's your fiance. Like Drake is my fiance. Drake doesn't know me. I've never met him. But if we're just throwing out fiance like that, then I'm just going to go ahead and claim it. Anyhow. So we're down to like 29 days for them to get married. Ron and Betty again sit them down and we're like, hey, this pandemic is serious. The coronavirus is serious. You guys need to move up your date because God forbid one of us gets sick or something else happens. Like you guys, time is not on your side. And Julia agreed. Brandon was kind of like, That's how I felt his whole thing. Hey, Daryl, you're new. Everyone welcome Daryl Powell. Daryl says, these marriages are doomed. Dun, dun, dun. So Brandon feels like he doesn't have a choice. He's like, he's not ready to give up on Julia, but here's what he does say, you guys. Verbatim, I'm not ready to give Julia up yet. The disclaimer at the end, you guys, that had me feeling a type of way as well. You're not ready to give her up yet? What does that mean? Does that mean that in the near future, you might be willing to give her up? What does that mean? Because those were poor choices of words. And again, it goes back to me saying, why are we all surprised that you have to get ready or get married in 90 days? Why? Why are we surprised by this? Isn't this what you guys all worked up for? You worked up to this moment. And so 90 days is just a time frame, you guys. You can get married 2 days after the person gets here, as we saw with the family Chantel, or you could wait to the last day. It's just a time frame. What it's not is for y'all to get to know each other. Because you know what? You're already engaged. Like, it's bizarre to me. Yeah, definitely let me know what you guys think, because I'm fascinated by this whole crazy, I'm not sure if I'm ready to get married yet, by all of the couples this season. It's very bizarre. And then Brandon's basically like, he just wants to get this marriage out of the way, and he doesn't think that it needs to be spectacular if they're already going to have another one. That also rubbed me the wrong way as well, because I agreed with Julia. You all don't know when you're going to have another big fancy wedding, because you have to pay for the green card process. You have to pay and move out of your parents' house and get a place for you and your bride. She has to wait to get her work permit. That's going to take some time. So she's thinking of all the bills. So yeah, let's make this one special. Yeah, let's put some effort into this one, because this date is the actual day that we're getting married. This is the day that we're going to probably celebrate as our anniversaries. So for you to have a shit attitude and say, hey, I don't think it should be spectacular, I kind of don't care, whatever, is really messed up. It's really, really messed up. And I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get where his nonchalant, ambivalent attitude is coming from. Like, I just don't get it. She seems fantastic. If you say you love her, what's the problem? Here's my theory on that. I think that Brandon is worried that as soon as he gets married, he's actually going to have to be an adult. He's actually going to have responsibilities. He's actually going to have to move out of his parents' house, pay some bills, make some decisions, and not run to mommy and daddy every 5 seconds. You can't run to mommy and daddy when she gets pregnant and have them decide what you should do. Can't run to mommy and daddy when you want a meal and mommy and daddy aren't there to cook it for you. Can't run to mommy and daddy to set up the bedroom for you and put the condoms and the chocolates by the side of the table. You feel me? You see what I'm saying? That's why I feel like all of a sudden it's too real for him. It's too real for him. He wants to have his beautiful woman kick it at the house, have the parents take care of everything, have Julia up in the farm doing farm duty with the animals. he go run and do his job, but come home and guess what? Everything is still taken care of. Because you know what? As soon as he becomes a grown-up, a real one, he's going to have way more responsibilities, and I just don't think that that's what he wants. Crystal said it's coming from childhood. He never grew up. That's right. He never grew up. He just doesn't want to grow up. And that's where I feel like this nonchalant, slight animosity towards actually having a wedding is coming from. That's what I believe. All right, you guys. Stephanie is up next. And Stephanie, I have grown to love Stephanie. I love the crazy she brings to the show. I just love all of it. It's pure entertainment, you guys. It's pure entertainment. Okay, so it's their last morning together between Harris and Stephanie. Harris has to go back to work. Okay, so they're going to spend like a romantic day together. And y'all, when Harris climbed the coconut tree, I had to pause and rewind it. Pause and rewind it. I did it like 3 times, you guys, because I was like, is he what? And he went up like, did you all see that? Like nobody's business. Like whoosh, 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 grab the coconut. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. I was like, what's happening right now? Did he just pure gold? That was TV gold, you guys. It was TV gold. So they're holding hands. They're being all lovey-dovey. She's saying, sex is phenomenal. He's so romantic. Stephanie, what has he done but shown up and been like the alternate? Do you know what I mean? Just insert Belizean man here, and all of a sudden he's Mr. Romantic. We talked about it last week. He had all the money at his disposal, and he just chose to walk down and buy your favorite wine, and then you guys just kick it there. And I get it's a pandemic. I get there's not much you can do, but you could have put a little planning into it. There could have been a little food. There could have been a little something. But y'all, he's romantic. So do you guys ever hear what Harris says about how he loves Stephanie? He doesn't really say that. Although he does say I love you in this episode, which we'll get to. But he loves that he can envision himself in Michigan. He's like, I envision myself out in Michigan with her because I have a lot of big dreams. That has nothing to do with Stephanie. That is all to do with you wanting to come to America, thinking everyone in America is rich and that you're going to have a better life. It doesn't sound to me like you love Stephanie. So then she's like talking about how she can possibly build a relationship with Harris, but she has, some concerns whether he really wants to leave this beautiful paradise, whether, she can trust him. And we find out in that Ryan has started calling back because you guess what, you guys? Remember, I told you Ryan was her lover, but she was also his meal ticket. She was his employer. She paid all the bills in the house, you guys remember? Paid the rent over the family's head. It's been, 3-4 days or even let's say a week? He ain't got no job. He ain't got no money. So yeah, guess what? He's calling her back. Is that surprising to anyone? Radella said, loved it when he left with all the things. We all knew he would. Girl, yes, we did. And the garbage bag was that was the icing on the cake for me. Crystal says, Harris will go home and get the baby mama in check. Play your role so we can get to America. Facts. Those are facts. So Stephanie says that she's sick of the lies. She's done with the lying, all of that stuff. And Harris is like, I don't have a reason to lie. But then Stephanie pulls out the receipts, the Facebook photo, 3.5 weeks ago of his baby mama and him celebrating the birthday. And the way this man two-stepped around that, I was like, this dude right here. Halfway acting like he didn't really understand what she was saying. And he was like quick with it. He's like, oh no, she was just celebrating. She was just happy. That was my birthday and she wanted to celebrate with me. But, we've gone our separate ways. Bull, bull, bull. I call bull because you guys, first of all, that's his baby mama. They've been together for 14 years. That's his Facebook, probably his Facebook profile picture. Okay, for the whole world to see. And I've already told you, it's a family affair. I personally think that Emma is in on it. He's like, hey, baby, I got to go and get this money. This woman is willing to cut checks. Okay. And I say that because when he was packing up all his stuff and he got that garbage bag full of shirts and flip-flops, the $3,000 watch that he's about to pawn, okay? And then she handed him money like he was the cabana boy. Here's $100 tip, for snacks. What's the first thing he said? What's the first thing he said, you guys? He ain't getting no snacks. She already put snacks in his pocket like she was his mama. He said, I'm going to use it wisely and I'm going to get some stuff for my kids. It's a job to him. He's like, oh, this woman is giving me a whole bunch of stuff. She's handing out money. And he's going to go ahead and make a better life for his family. And guess what? Emma's part of that family. It's a whole show, y'all. That's how I honestly believe it. But the simple fact that he could look her in her face and say, I love you and I'm happy to be with you. You ain't love her, Harris. You love the thought of her. You love the thought that you can come to America, that she is going to pay all your bills. She's going to give you all this money because she's already handing you cash money in your hand. And you're happy to be with her because she is going to make your life better. And guess what? You're going to ride out that 2 years. And then you're going to bring your family over and you're going to be like, peace out. I'm good. Lydia says, I'm not mad at him. And Radella says, Stephanie is not the first and she won't be the last. And Crystal says, he never says they are together or that they are separated. He says, she's fed up with me. How many times do married women feel fed up but don't break up? Those are facts. Those are facts. He does say, oh, she's going to go her way and I'm going to go my way. But that doesn't mean anything. He doesn't say we are not together. Those words do not come out of his mouth. So for Stephanie, who's already ready to go home now, wanting to talk to Emma, I think that's a good idea. However, as I earlier said, I think Emma's in on it. And Emma is going to, especially when he comes back with those bag of goodies, she's going to be like, okay, what do I have to do? Oh, hey, girl, hey. Yeah, no, I ain't trying to be with him. We're done. He's a mess. We're done. Have him. Bring him to America. Just make sure that he, continues to support the family because we do have 3 kids. And yeah, no, girl, no. We're good. Wait, what? Do you want to? Oh, you want to send a couple of $100 over here? Yeah, that'd be great. The jungle out here is really hard. And, he really does miss you. And it would really help him a lot. So yeah, go ahead and send a couple $100. I'll go ahead and give you my banking information. Y'all, it's a hot mess. Linda is asking, didn't he ask if the money was fake? He did ask if the money was fake because she pulled out a crisp $100 bill and it's the newer $100 US bill. So if Harris hasn't seen those yet, being Belize, then I can see why he would think that it was fake because he's never seen one of the newer $100 US bills. So he acted like, oh, is this fake? Because I'm about to use this. So I'm going to need it to be real. And then when Stephanie was all like, yeah, I would have given you something else, but I only have hundreds. I was like, you know what, Stephanie? Okay. And speaking of Stephanie, this giving out $100 bills is something that she does, apparently. And if you go to our 90 Day the Melanated Way Instagram page, you will see that she took a day. I think it was International Happiness Day. I had never heard of it, but she took a day to give 10 people $100, and she just walked around her city and gave people hundreds. So it's something that she does. Amanda said, I was just cleaning my closet and I found some money from all over the place. A lot of places. Money doesn't look fake, or does look fake. Hong Kong money is like plastically. Well, Canadian money people think is play money. People think it's fake. So it is what it is. Crystal said, he said, that's enough money for 2 weeks. That baby mama will play her part. Those are facts. So, I don't know. They bring entertainment. Are they a real couple? No. Did they bring entertainment this season? Absolutely. It's bananas, and they will continue to be entertaining to us. So, moving on to Rebecca and Ziad. Do I have a Rebecca and Ziad question? I do not. But I did have, and you guys already have answered it, but I'll pop it up anyways. Do you believe that Harris really loves Stephanie? Or do you think he loves the money that Stephanie has to offer? Do you believe Harris loves Stephanie? Let me know in the comments, and let me know in the live chat. So Rebecca's all stressed out because she's decided to go ahead and get married before Ramadan. And Ziad decided that he's going to wear a red jacket, blue shoes, and they go shopping at Target to get him some blue pants. And they're going to have this gazebo wedding at the cabin that they used to be at, or they visited. And, you know, they're shopping for wedding stuff at Target. And Ziad is like feeling Rebecca's negative vibes. And she's stressed, right? She's stressed because this is not how she wanted to have her wedding. Mind you, you know, this is her 4th wedding. So, like, I don't see what the big deal is, but that's just me personally. So they're in Target, and my question was, I guess, was it because of the pandemic that they closed the dressing rooms? I don't ever recall hearing anything about that. So I wanted to know what you guys think. Oh, hey, Princess. Thank you. I really tried today. I really tried. Dominique says, I don't think he loves her. Money, money, money. Money, money, money. And hey, Lita. Hey, girl. Hey. Lita says, loves her because of the money. So, anywho, Ziad can't try on these pants. And so that was my question, you guys. Like, was there a thing? Was there a memo I missed with Target that you couldn't try stuff on anymore during the pandemic? Was that a thing? And so I was like, almost expecting him to just pull down his pants and try them right there and then, right? Oh, okay. Vanessa says, yes, they close dressing rooms here at least. Okay, I didn't know it was a thing. I wasn't going out, so I didn't know. And Lydia said, yes, some dressing rooms are still closed here. Okay. That's good to know. Well, I'm, an online shopper. Just bring it to me. I'll try it on here. If I don't like it, I'll send it back. Oh, hey, Brittany. And Brittany says the same thing. So you guys are saying the same thing. Yeah, earlier in the pandemic, the Target dressing rooms were blocked off with tape. So they're driving. They're on their way to this cabin resort. And Rebecca is kind of having a bit of a meltdown and is upset that she's having to rush this wedding. And also she wants to know and did you guys know, so I don't know if I'm saying it right. And if I am, I think it's really cute. But so it's Ziad and Wiad, his sister's name, Wied. So is it Ziad and Wiad? Because that would be cute. Hey, these are my kids, Ziad and Wiad. I love it. So she doesn't know that they're getting married this weekend, and he's gonna need to tell her. And when he does tell her, she is not the one. She's not impressed that Rebecca has 3 exes already. She wants to know, are you sure that she's the one? Because, maybe it's her, maybe she has issues, and maybe it's bad luck because she's already has 3 exes. Like, do you really want to do this? Plus, she doesn't like the fact that he picked up and left his entire life to go be with this woman who she's not impressed with. And I thought that was really sad, you guys. I was like, that's sad that the sister that he's close to is not here for it and doesn't support it, and almost was like kind of mean to him on the phone the day before his wedding. I just thought it was really sad that was the case, like you want your family to be happy for you, and she was clearly not happy, and basically was like, is there anything else? Because I don't have anything else to say. Oh no, there's not. Okay, bye, click. Like, that's kind of sad, you guys, So Rebecca is freaking out because she has no wedding cake, and it's the day before her wedding, and she can't find her ring. She still lost her engagement ring, and the dress doesn't fit, which I had questions about. Why'd you buy it then? Why'd you buy a dress that doesn't fit you? If anything, buy the dress too big so that you can, do some tuck and folds. Why would you buy something you couldn't zip up? Like, that part stressed me out, because I was like, oh no, we're not about to, oh no. I just was confused by that. So anyway, so she was upset about that, and she's exhausted because she's been working 60-hour weeks, and she feels like that's all she does is she works, she sleeps, she has to keep Ziad happy, and she has to plan this wedding within a week, and she's just maxed out. Okay, I mean, I understand the rushing part. It'd be a little difficult, but again, I'm going to stick to what I said earlier, guys. Like, you knew you were getting married. What are you stressed out about? Yes, it's a pandemic. That's the part that would stress me out. And you deciding that you're going to get married before Ramadan, okay, I get that too. But I did like what her friend said. Well, you're marrying the man you love, the man that you said you wanted, right? So shouldn't that be your focus? Shouldn't it be like, hey, you are finally getting married to the man that you say you love? I was like, that is some wisdom right there, you guys, because focusing on all these other things, that's going to get you spun up. And again, why are you surprised that you're getting married? Like, 90-day fiance. You waited 2 years. You should be ecstatic that it's actually happening faster than you thought. But, she talks about how she's had doubts a couple of times about pulling out of this whole thing. She feels like she might have lost her mind. She's feeling like just panicked. And I know it's just the stress, you guys, but at the same time, why are you stressed? This should be a happy moment. This is what you said you wanted for so long. And so the only thing that would stress me out, and I said it before, I'm going to say it again, don't buy something that doesn't fit. You know what I mean? But they're going to be just fine. Tariq and Hazel. Oh, Tariq and Hazel. He's apologized for talking to other women, and she's feeling happy about her future again, which I thought was great. And she decides that she wants to come out to her parents so that she has no more secrets, so she can start her new life in America free and clear. And so she calls her parents, Helen and Taifo, and her brother Toshi was there as well. And she says, would you be mad if I said I like girls? Or would you be angry if I said I like women and men? And they were like, what? What did she say? I thought that was hilarious. And she says it again. And the dad was fine. The dad was like, do what you want, do what you want. If you're happy, I'm happy. But the mom, she had a whole other thing. She said, oh no, don't do that. And then she's like, I hope it will be gone soon, and we'll pray for you. I was like, I haven't heard that in forever. You can't pray the gay away. If she's bisexual, she's bisexual. Like, no amount of prayer is going to change that for her. So I thought that was interesting. So the dad's not angry, but he just wants his daughter to be happy, which I thought was a beautiful thing and a beautiful way for her to experience that moment with her parents. But the mom was mad, and the mom made it about herself. Her mom was like, her mom felt hurt. I was like, what are you hurt about? How is this? What? So, anyways, that was a little confusing to me, but I was happy that she was able to have that conversation and, move forward with her life. And then we see the Bachelorette Party that Tariq planned for her, which I thought was interesting because he wasn't having a bachelor party, but she was having a Bachelorette party. And I was wondering if it's because Tariq is a full, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, he has already been busted for gallivanting around with other women, and it was too tempting for him. So he was like, I'm about to just not do that. Because I do think that this relationship is a little odd, you guys. It's a little odd in the sense that I just don't really feel like they're in it for the right reasons. But that's just what I think. So, because when she said that she was lucky to have met Tariq, I don't think she meant it as in she was lucky that she was with them. I think that she meant it like, hey, I was lucky to meet him, and he was able to take me over to America so I could have a better life, and I'm already having a better life. And oh, by the way, he hired this Danielle dancer for her bachelorette party, and it was right up her alley. She wants the big booty brown girl. Okay. And that was the most excited I've ever seen Hazel in both seasons. Ever. She was like a kid. She was like so excited. She was moving around. That's how excited she was. And you've never seen her that excited about Tariq. Not once. Okay. But I do believe that she loves him, as in that's her road dog. Like, she is seeing him as the guy that is allowing her to have a better life than she used to have. But I'm going to tell you that this little throuple thing is not going to work. And I'm going to go as far as to say that I think that they'll be married for as long as they need to be married on the green card. As soon as she has her green card and her son there, that she's going to be deuces. I'm going to go be with my girlfriend. I really think that. I really do. I just do. And I don't think that the jealousy that we saw was about her feeling insecure about Minty. It was her feeling like, hey, I don't have this ring on this finger. If he goes and bees with her, that's going to mess up my whole green card situation. And that's what she was mad about. But let me know what you guys think as well. Yes, we sure did, Crystal. She was feeling all that. She was feeling all that. But what was funny is that the friend was like, this is not my cup of tea, but, this is Hazel's day. I was like, you guys, like, who cares? Who cares? All right, I need to talk about Andrew and Amira. Andrew, there's 4 days left on this visa. He says that he gets a text from Amira that she didn't get on the plane. And then the information that he gives his mom is only this. She had a panic attack and didn't board the plane. This MF lies. How about give us the backstory? Why did I gotta wait for Amira to actually give us the backstory on why she didn't get on the plane? He did say, I think I effed up, but that's it. Yeah, you think? So, 24 hours before, she's crying. She thought, this is the one. I'm getting married. I've quarantined in Serbia for 2 weeks. I'm finally going to be able to come to America and be with the men that I love. But guess what? Andrew picked a fight. He picked a fight. He said, it's not working out between us because you and I are not on the same page with kids. And we saw that little fight they had where they were fighting. And she's like, well, I don't feel like I want to bring in kids to this world with you if we constantly fight. She didn't say, I don't want to be with you. She's just like, I don't think I want to have kids quite yet because you and I have to work on a relationship. That is actually really mature. Andrew, president of the Gaslighters. Facts. Einstein of Rap says, Andrew never changes his shirt. Those are facts too, Einstein. And Princess says, serious creeps from Andrew. Yes, you guys, because, okay, so he's picked this fight with her. He sent her mean texts. She tells him to try to, like, smooth over the situation, that she loves him, she wants to be with him, and no, the mean texts keep coming. Now, he texts her these things, you guys. He texts her a ticket to go to Paris, and he's like, now you have 2 tickets, 2 choices. You can choose your flight here, or you can choose your flight there. Do what you want, he says. I don't care. Okay? Then he says, the children at the daycare are far better team players. You make your choices. I didn't like that he brought the kids into this mess. I don't know. It just gave me like a weird chill. I feel like I just didn't like it. I didn't like it. Don't bring children that are not your children into your nasty, manipulative, weird fight. Like, ew. Like, I'm just going to say, if I had kids and they were at that daycare, they would no longer be at that daycare, period. I don't like his vibe at all. So he's literally manipulating her and like playing mind games with her right now. Okay. And I had to take a picture of the screenshot of the show because I couldn't believe it. So she says, are you sure about it? And then he goes on to say, you've been given a lot more rope to hang yourself with, so it's on you. The children at the daycare are far better team players. You make your choices. You shoot yourself in the foot. If you've got any talking to do, I strongly suggest you engage me now. My time is limited. Then he goes on to say, it's been 30 minutes from my initial offer to help. I have but 60 more seconds in me. Wait, what? So keep all of those disgusting texts that he sent her back to back to back to back to back in your mind. Okay. So then she still wants to not give up on them. She goes to the airport. Okay. She goes to the airport with all intentions to still go and be with the man that she loves. You're a better woman than me. I'll tell you that, if you still had that in your mind after seeing and hearing all of those things. So he calls her, and you guys keep in mind all of the things that he just texted her and says, you're going to meet an angry fiance. Of course she had a panic attack. You're basically threatening her. You've been threatening her all night. Of course she had a panic attack. And of course she didn't get on the plane. So why then go back to the top of this segment where he says she didn't get on the plane, she had a panic attack. How about you tell your mom the shitty things that you said and did and the fight that you had with Amira, and make sure she knows how much of a douche you were being before you say, oh, I don't know, she had a panic attack and she didn't get on the plane. How about that? You guys, I was so irritated. This dude wants to say that TLC edits out who he really is and what he's about. But that just showed me that you're just 100% a manipulator, and you manipulate things to show yourself in a better light, even though you're 100% completely a douche. And you cannot change my mind on that, period, at all. Okay? For you to simply say that she changed her mind and had a panic attack and didn't get on the plane when you're the reason she had a panic attack, and you threatened her via text, you threatened your fiance, and then you verbally said that if she came, she would be coming to an angry fiance. Can you imagine being stuck in a country with someone who says, yeah, come on down, but you're going to be face to face with an angry fiance? Who's getting on that flight? Why would I travel halfway across the world to meet you in person so that you could do what? Since you're angry and me be stuck there. Why would I come to that? It makes no sense. So she called her dad, and talked it through, and she was hoping that he would pick up because he said that he would cut her off. And she literally said that she was scared of Andrew's reaction. She was scared of his reaction, so she didn't get on the plane, and that it was just too much pain. So she calls to tell him that. Instead of saying, "Oh, baby, I didn't mean any of that. I was just angry," or whatever, and talk it out, he says, "Okay, we can worry about the logistics, but can you send the ring back?" What? Just like with Mike, what did you just say? You want what? Hey, Jojo. Hey, girl. Hey. Jojo says, another third wheel. I mean, just go home. He is not true of his love to you. You do all the effort in this. These are facts. And Einstein of rap? Absolutely. Never forget when Amira's pop said, "This is not love." On that note, that's it. That's how I felt about a lot of the couples this episode, you guys. It's not love if the first thing you're thinking about is getting your ring back. Okay? It's not love if your fiance is literally texting you crazy, mean, diabolical messages. You already know that she spent time in a detention center for you, and now you're talking about ropes, and you're talking about, you have two choices and you don't care and all this. Like, oh no. You know what, Amira? Go ahead and get on that plane to Paris and go live it up. Viva la life in Paris, and don't look back. Because this right here was not the business. It was not the business. It was not the business. Anyhow, you guys, those are my thoughts. Thank you so much for joining. You guys on Facebook, you guys on YouTube, and on Patreon. I totally appreciate it. Make sure that you are thumbs up. You're giving the big hearts. They really do help me a lot. Make sure you're subscribed. And if you so feel led, please support the show at lindaissogirlie. Cashapp, Venmo, whatever. I appreciate it. And you guys, tomorrow we are talking 90 Day Bears All, and I hear it's a doozy. I haven't watched it yet, but you got Tim and Veronica. You got a whole bunch of stuff. So we're going to talk all about it. So come back tomorrow, same time, same place. Until then, good night, y'all. Loved having you here.